Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Hi, Mop.
Hi. Can I take a moment of tiny personal privilege to
Sure.
wish my favorite birds, my parents, a very happy 58th anniversary?
58. Wow.
Isn't that the cutest?
Happy anniversary to them. That is amazing.
Yeah, they've been married a good long time. So
I
happy,
won't
happy, happy anniversary to the
I won't
birds.
live that long to see 58. You know what I mean? My husband and I, we won't live that long to see 58 years. There's just no way. That's amazing.
Yeah, that will be a tall order for me as well.
Yeah, that's pretty
Because
remarkable.
we're just about to do 25. I mean,
yeah,
that's
58. Wow.
Yeah.
Remarkable.
They've been married a long time. So, anyway, happy anniversary to them.
Happy anniversary.
Also, terrible news for those folks who, for some reason, thought that when the ladies of The View left for their summer break, that they were leaving forever. They are actually returning to the airwaves on September 8th. Sorry, everybody.
It's so interesting that they get a summer break. Are they teachers?
Yeah, it's like a month long. They're just gone for practically the whole month of August, really.
Wow.
It's been so
right?
nice.
It has not having to see their faces and talk
Yeah.
about them and like clips that are outrageous,
Yeah.
stupid, and yeah, it has been really nice. Welcome back to reality, everybody.
Exactly. So you got your reading glasses on because Cracker Barrel has released a very lengthy statement to its customer base, and Daisy's going to read it to you, and then we can discuss about whether or not we feel any better from it.
Okay, here we go.
Here's the first page.
All right. A promise to our guests. In the last few days, if the last few days have shown us anything, it's how deeply people care about Cracker Barrel. We're truly grateful for your heartfelt voices. You've also shown us that we could have done a better job sharing who we are and who we'll always be. What has not changed and what will never change are the values this company was built on when Cracker Barrel first opened in 1969. Hard work, family, and scratch-cooked food made with care. A place where everyone feels at home no matter where you're from or where you're headed. That's the Cracker Barrel you'll always find. The things people love most about our stores aren't going anywhere. Rocking chairs on the porch, a warm fire in the hearth, peg games on the table, unique treasures in our gift shop, and vintage Americana with antiques pulled straight from our warehouse in Lebanon, Tennessee. We love seeing how much you care about our old timer. We love him too. Uncle Herschel will still be on our menu. Welcome back, Uncle Herschel's favorite breakfast platter, on our road signs and featured in our country store. He's not going anywhere. He's family. While our logo and remodels may be making headlines, our bigger focus is still right where it belongs, in the kitchen and on your plate, serving generous portions of the food you crave at fair prices, and doing it with the kind of country hospitality that brightens your days and creates lasting memories. Meatloaf, chicken and dumplings, country fried steak, sides that taste like Sunday supper, and yes, the world's best pancakes. They're all still here, with a few new dishes joining the menu. Whether you're a longtime fan or a first-time guest, we want you to feel at home around our table. We also want to be sure Cracker Barrel is here for the next generation of families, just as it has been for yours. That means showing up on new platforms and in new ways, but always with our heritage at the heart. We take that responsibility very seriously. We know we won't always get everything right the first time, but we'll keep testing, learning, and listening to our guests and employees. At the end of the day, our promise is simple. You'll always find comfort, community, and country hospitality here at Cracker Barrel. Uncle Herschel wouldn't have wanted it any other way. Thank you for caring so much, and come see for yourself the country hospitality that makes Cracker Barrel feel like home. Love, Cracker Barrel. Uncle Herschel wouldn't have wanted it any other way. That's why we shoved him in the back.
Right.
Screw you, Uncle Herschel. Yeah.
So then where's the part where they explain why the hell they're doing this in the first place?
Right,
what?
Exactly.
Yeah. So we hear you. We recognize we didn't roll this out the best way. We're keeping Uncle Herschel. We're staying true to our values, but we're still giving you this horrible new logo and completely sterile new restaurants.
Exactly.
What?
And they still are doing all the things, all the DEI bull crap that they were doing. This is just hi, sorry about everything, but we're not sorry. We're not at all sorry. Enjoy the chicken and dumplings at a fair price.
It was so interesting. There was just a complete rando on X who decided, and I don't even think they're a graphic designer, but this person was like, you know what? I'm going to take a crack at creating a new logo for Cracker Barrel. And it was so much better than the plain ass new logo that they've come up with because it's an actual barrel.
Yeah.
So this guy, Elwi Singolo, said, obviously, this is just me doodling and not doing a serious fix of the new logo. But I think if they were really determined to change it so much, they really could have benefited from slightly less minimalism. And that prompted Britt Hume, of all people, to weigh in, saying, this is so obviously an improvement on the company's new logo that you wonder why the designers didn't think of it. Or maybe they did, which is worse. Good for this guy for coming up with it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for the people who work there, like the real people, like the wait staff and the cashiers and the cooks and people like that. Because there are all these jackholes that are sitting in an air conditioned boardroom somewhere, pulling this, and they hired 3 different sets of consultants to come up with this shitty logo that they did. When this person, this Elway Singolo, came up with this. And he's just a guy. He's just like some rando guy. They think that they're doing something really great and progressive.
And they went through like focus groups and meeting after meeting after meeting.
Totally. It's
nonsense.
Ridiculous. Yeah, it is nonsense. And who suffers because of all this? It's the people that have, the regular people that are like, we liked it the way that it was. And we work here and we love it and we value it. And they're the ones who are ultimately going to suffer. It sucks. It really does. What doesn't suck is fresh pressed olive oil. It's so good, you guys. So good. I'm so hungry right now. You should get your full-size $39 bottle of it for just $1 shipping. That's all it is. No commitment. You can get in their little club. Go to chicksloveoliveoil.com. Once you try it, you will never go back. It's so good.
Ever. Yeah, there's no way I would ever buy just grocery store oil.
Yeah.
Heck no, I'm a diva now.
Good stuff.
All right, let's get into the things and the stuff. We're going to kick it off with some recaps of stories that we were already covering yesterday. While we were on the show, we told you that there was a rally happening outside the Baltimore courthouse. There was, a couple hundred people gathered in support of Ábrego, Kilmar, whatever his 3 names.
Yeah, Garcia. Garcia. The Maryland man. The Maryland man.
Right, the Maryland man. Including people dressed in pink singing, because this is all that weird lefties know how to do. They're so freaking weird. Okay. And so immediately outside the courtroom, he was taken back into ICE custody, which one of his attorneys announced to the crowd, and this was the reaction.
Simon Sandoval Motionberg. I'm a partner at the immigration law firm of Murray Osorio PLLC in Maryland, Virginia, and New Jersey, and one of the many attorneys in the legal team that's been representing Kilmar Ábrego Garcia. Mr. Ábrego Garcia was taken into custody by ICE this morning.
His face. Oh. That guy, can I just interject with that lawyer? He looks like he's been on a bender for 4 days.
Yeah, he always does. He looks
disheveled,
exhausted.
Just disheveled. He looks just not shaved, and his hair's off, and he looks it looks like he's been wearing the same clothes for a couple days. He just looks dirty,
It's rough work defending that guy.
I guess, yeah.
But for those of us who were hoping that he was going to be shipped off to Uganda yesterday, that has not happened because an Obama judge has blocked that impending deportation. So now it's all tied up in legal battles again, of course. And because it's all tied up in in all these legal battles, and because leftists continue to want to defend the indefensible, this came up at Trump's many press conferences yesterday. I think he was at 3 different events, answering reporter questions 3 different times. I was to the point where I was like, enough already.
Oh my God, so was my husband. He was like, he's on TV
get him
again.
Off the television. I've had enough of him.
That's so true. It's exactly what Greg was saying. He's like, why is he on TV again? What's going on?
I mean, it was just endless yesterday.
It was a lot.
And he was answering the same things over and over and over again. So I was just like, my God. I mean, it was a load off of the Fox people because I had it on my TV on Fox, and everyone that had a show didn't have a show because they just kept carrying it live. But anyway, he had Pam Bondi he had a bunch of his team with him in one of these events. And so one of the reporters said, what do you make of this whole Kilmar, Ábrego, Garcia thing? And here is how Trump answered that question.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today, MS-13 gangbanger and human trafficker Kilmar Ábrego Garcia turned himself into ICE in Baltimore. Do you have any comment on this? And why are the Democrats so emotionally attached to this man who beats his wife and is part of a terrorist organization?
Because they think he's going to be good for votes, and I think he's very bad for votes. These people are deranged. He's not good for votes. He beat the hell out of his wife. His wife is afraid to even talk about him. She's been mauled by this animal. And, through a system of liberal courts, he's doing things. But, no, we have that under control. And Pam has got that very much under control. Do you want to comment on it, Pam?
No, we've got him under control. He will no longer terrorize our country. He's currently charged with human smuggling, including children. The guy needs to be in prison.
I mean, she's not wrong. But can we just make this happen already?
I know, right? It's like, and the fact that people are protesting this at all, like, what the hell? Why is this even a discussion? We have so many other better things to do that, in this country, there are other problems. Like, this guy is getting so much airtime. He's a loser. He's a trafficker.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's like these are the people that like are his supporters are the same people who are like, stop fighting crime in our big cities, Trump. Why would you stop all the crime? We love crime. Like it doesn't make any sense. And JB Pritzker, after whom I'm named today, and Brandon Johnson, because Trump keeps talking about, having the National Guard help out in Chicago as well, since that's a complete hellscape. They, had their own press conferences. They were fighting back. And then there was this moment with JB Pritzker, who Trump made fun of a lot yesterday, like saying that he's unhealthy, just saying that he's incompetent. And then I don't know who the cameraman is in this clip, but he needs $1 billion in raises because this is what happened. It was beautiful, beautiful.
We're very pleased about the progress that we're making. I know that I live rent-free in the president's head. And I wish he would spend some time in Chicago so that he could see what a lovely city we have.
Governor, quick follow-up. What do you do if the National Guard is activated and comes here?
Was that not just the most perfect thing?
It's lovely, isn't it? It's lovely. It's a lovely city, especially this building right here. The rest of it, you're going to get murdered. But this building right here, fantastic. It's lovely.
The cameraman. I mean,
I love him. We need to get him on our show.
He's probably going to get fired. Just FYI.
It was worth it.
I know.
It was so worth getting fired if he gets fired. God, I love that guy.
I know. It was so great. And then Brandon Johnson, who is just, God, he's just awful.
Yeah.
He's now trying to say that incarceration not only doesn't work, which of course it works. If you take a criminal off that street and put him in jail, that guy's not going to commit more crimes. That's like, it's
what? There, Blondie. What are you talking about? What?
Well, I didn't know. And thanks to Brandon Johnson for educating me. Incarceration is super racist. So here he is to explain.
We cannot incarcerate our way out of violence. We've already tried that. And we've ended up with the largest prison population in the world without solving the problems of crime and violence. The addiction on jails and incarceration in this country, we have moved past that. It is racist, it is immoral, it is unholy, and it is not the way to drive violence down.
It's unholy.
We cannot return to the same failed strategies that got us here in the first place. Under the previous presidential administration, we requested more federal resources to address gun violence in our city. We continue to make that same call. We have made significant progress on our own, but there is so much more that we can do if we had real support from the federal government.
Okay,
so they
Brandon.
just want more money? Okay.
Federal money, meaning you and me. So he wants federal funds. We're supposed to pay for the shithole that is Chicago right now. And listen, I love Chicago. I used to live there, but it is now becoming a shithole because of people like him. And if he doesn't believe in incarceration, he should just take the criminals into his house. You know, they can just,
if it doesn't work,
live with
if
him.
it's pointless,
Because if it's unholy to put them in jail after they've murdered people, he can just be like, come to my house because I'm benevolent. I'm the good guy. Do it, Brandon.
It's true. When Trump says that the Chicago leadership is incompetent, yes. When you are looking at J.B. Pritzker and you are looking at freaking Brandon Johnson, yes, there is no better word to describe those people. They are incompetent losers. They probably don't even know how great this CozyEarth blanket is. That's how big of losers they are, you guys.
We gotta talk about the comfort and coziness and the spa retreat that is your home and blankets, because Mark and I are blanket people. Like, we are blanket people, okay? We shop around for blankets. This is the greatest blanket ever. Blankets are like a big thing right now. I think they're having their time. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of companies they're having a moment, and a lot of companies are trying to jockey for who has the best blanket, who has the best blanket. I feel like this is the best one right now on the market. I love this thing because it is fat.
I mean, can you see?
You got to look at it. You got to look at the gloriousness. It's fat on both sides. It's not just one side. It's fat all around, and it's like cushy. Our kids, I have one on my recliner, and my kids are like, we got to get one of these because they just bought a house here in Texas and they're obsessed. My daughter-in-law is obsessed with this thing. It's the Bubble Cuddle Blanket. I don't think there's any other way. Right. It's the Bubble Cuddle Blanket. It's luxurious. It's comfortable. It's soft. It's like faux fur. It's like, it's so beautiful. And they're pretty, but they're also so super comfortable. And then they're warm. It's just the greatest thing ever. It's what you want to curl up with when you're like Netflixing and doing all
You want to be naked on this. I'm just saying it.
Yeah.
You want to be all kinds of naked on it.
She's right. She's totally right. You're right. Yeah. You guys head to CozyEarth.com. Use code CHICKS for up to 40% off. You got to get one of these. They have all different colors. I'm going to get a gray one for our kids as a housewarming gift. That's CozyEarth.com. Code CHICKS. I have an ivory one, which is beautiful. 40% off. CozyEarth.com. Code CHICKS. Get 40% off. And if you get a post-purchase survey, make sure to let them know that you heard about CozyEarth right here. Because you guys, your home should be like a spa retreat. I'm just saying it should be your favorite place. The CozyEarth blanket. Yeah.
All right, let's because this is going to be an interesting show because we're going to have, and I know this makes people uncomfortable, but we're probably going to have some criticism of this administration for various reasons. Okay? Because we keep it real here on the Chicks on the Right show. But let's start out with how absolutely disastrous the Democrat Party is right now. And they are currently engaging in a summer summit. They're having their annual, we got to get together and figure out what our message is and rally the troops and get all go team. And so the DNC chair opened up the meeting by proving that Democrats have learned absolutely nothing from the last election. And they decided to open up the summit as follows.
Somek, who is from the Saginaw Ojibwe Nation, and she's going to deliver our land acknowledgement today. Lindy?
What? What?
Lindy Somek, Nindichinikas, Amekdodam, Saginaw Chippewa Dojaba, Anishinaabe Kwe and Dow. Good morning, DNC members, friends, and relatives. Let's talk about the land for a second.
Kazoom type.
They do.
What? They're such losers. I swear. Can we get some work done? We need to acknowledge the land. It's right there.
No, they have to acknowledge that they're having their little meeting on stolen land to appease the woke.
Out loud. Everybody's always apologizing, you know?
Yeah. They're always apologizing and defending indefensible things. But they are ready for a fight. And so Ken Martin says that he's sick and tired of being outmatched and outmaneuvered. And here's some fighting words.
I'm sick and tired of this Democrat Party bringing a pencil to a knife fight. No. We cannot be the only party that plays by the rules anymore. We've got to stand up and fight. We're not going to have a hand tied behind our back anymore.
Okay, we're your Huckleberry. Okay.
They're sick and tired of playing by the rules, they say.
Right. That's right.
Okay.
So
When did that happen?
Sophisticated Pig 913 said, we got bazookas. That's right. I think they're bringing pencils. No, that's cute. There. No.
But I mean, they just, so I guess the whole point of this summit is for them to say, we're going to double down even harder on all of our stupid shit that lost us the last election. We're just going to be meaner about it. This is right. This is the takeaway, apparently.
Yeah. And in the words of Possum Person, they're going to triple Trump. They're going to triple down on Trump. And they're going to be like, we hate Trump, Trump this, anti-Trump. Okay. I hope they keep doing that. I hope they keep using Trump as like the one thing that they just hate so bad that anything that he says, they go against it. It's all about Trump. It won't be about Trump next time. It won't be.
Right.
It's not about Trump now. It's about common sense now. It really isn't about Trump. He is just the conduit, right? He's just the leader right now. But really, it's about us wanting common sense. And he happened to be the vessel by which we could get there. You know?
Right.
And so when we get to the next election, they are going to be so screwed if they don't change course, and they are not changing course.
No, they are not. In fact, there was like a interview of Elizabeth Warren. I'm not sure who the guy is that's asking the question, but he's saying, hey, we're sucking right now. Like our poll numbers are in the toilet. So what's the plan? And she essentially says, we're just going to do more crazy.
His approval rating is also near an all-time low. So the question is, what do Democrats need to do to win back Congress in the midterms and just win back the people?
Well, I got to tell you, nobody elected the Democrats to lie down and play dead.
Oh, my God.
The number one thing we got to do is stand up and fight back.
But fight back up. That's not a strategy. That's not a policy.
It's just opposition. That's
right. It's just more fighting. It's more getting out and singing your stupid songs and protesting everything that doesn't need to be protested. That's not a strategy, and it's not a policy. They do not have good policies, which is why they were voted out. I don't see any change here. I don't.
I know. I mean, they're just sucking so hard. And then, of course, since they were in Minnesota, Tim Walz was a headline figure at the summit. And all he can do is talk about MAGA, about Trump. And then what's even crazier about his whole speech was that he talks about how Trump is so divisive and insulting and petty while he's being divisive, insulting, and petty. And he doesn't even hear himself.
Right.
Here he is talking about MAGA in general or the GOP.
How easy it would be to be a damn Republican. Oh, what should I wear today? This stupid friggin' red hat. What should I say today? I don't know. Just make sure it's cruel. Who do we listen to? That guy. Oh, the felon in the White House? Yeah, listen to him and that will be fine.
I mean, he's so lost. It gets worse. But he takes a break for a moment to compliment and praise Kamala Harris, saying how much better shape we would be in as a country if she were president.
Oh, my God.
I will have to tell you, the privilege of my lifetime was stand beside someone we know was the most qualified and would have been a fantastic president in a President Harris.
Okay.
And look, we wouldn't wake up every day to a bunch of shit on TV and a bunch of nonsense. We would wake up to an adult with compassion and dignity and vision and leadership doing the work, not a man-child crying about whatever's wrong with him.
Man-child, that's right. Yeah.
May his fat ankles find something today.
Yeah.
Petty
when they
as
go
hell.
low.
Did you hear that? The last part?
Yeah. No.
He said, petty as hell.
Right.
And I can't decide, is he acknowledging that what he just said was petty as hell? Because it was. I mean,
well, and
what does that even mean?
Because he's talking about Kankles and red hats. And like, it's kind of like Gavin, saying or using Trump and like how he talks and how everything about him, his whole essence. And he basically is like, I hate everything he does and everything he says and who he is as a person. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. And everybody on the left is now applauding it. And it's like, wait, but if it's not really a troll if you hate it so much. I don't understand it. It's really strange to me. They're embracing his whole essence because Gavin is doing exactly, well, at least they think that he's doing exactly what Trump does. If you hate it so much, don't you think you do the opposite? It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it.
They love it. They love it.
So I guess it's okay if they do it. It's okay. And it's the whole when they go low. Michelle Obama used to say that, remember? That's not going high. Like they've
changed their tune on that. They're like, now we're going, remember what Charlemagne the God said? He was like, instead of that, we're just going straight down into hell. We're going to go way, way lower and fight. I
don't think they can get any lower, Ma. I don't
think they're awful. I mean,
these are the people who during a campaign had women out there twerking for Kamala. You know what I mean? You can't when it comes to like culture, when it comes to the message, I don't think they can get much lower, can they? It's one of the reasons
don't
that Trump
dare
won.
them, like don't tempt them to get worse. But they not only are they doubling and tripling down on just all of their, their tough talk, they're fighting back against God knows what. They continue to be the wokeists that lost them the election in the first place. And again, Tim Walz putting it out there.
Minnesota ranks the highest per capita for being a safe haven for transgender individuals in Minnesota. And can I just say, we can talk about economic growth and feeding children and growing the economy and creating jobs simultaneously with talking about everybody's human rights matters, and we shouldn't be demonizing them. You can do both.
Why is he so gay?
Yeah, keep giving tampons to boys, Tim.
Right? This is what they double down on.
This is what they double down on. This is why you lost. I mean, but they're not learning. This is not learning. This is not self-reflection. And they have none of that. They do not have the skill to look and go, hey, let's do a lessons learned. It's kind of like in the private sector, when you do a project, at the end of the project, you go, what did we do wrong? What did we do well? They have not done that. The Democrats are incapable of doing that. They don't look at everything like, a company, which is, I hope, what the Republicans would do if we lost like that.
Yeah.
If things were tanking so hard, I would hope that somebody would be like, hey, we got to look at things like a company looks at things. Why are we tanking so hard? And we would change course. Like, seriously, we would take the rudder and figure out we need to go a completely different. They are not doing that.
I hope we would. I mean, but they are definitely not doing that.
They're just not doing it. It just
and I guess we should just hope that they continue to not.
I guess. Yeah, because they are running. They're so far into the ground now. It's remarkable to me.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. You guys, if you're looking for a good organization to donate to, could we suggest our friends at PragerU, home of personalities such as Xavier DeRusso, who's a great buddy of ours? They are the ones that are supporting truth and values, and they only work with donations.
That's right. A lot of people are rejecting woke content. They're finding truth and values and common sense through Prager. I'm sure a lot of you already support them or a little bit about them. But unlike the PBSs and the NPRs of the world, PragerU does not take a dime from taxpayers or from Washington. Every dollar comes from supporters like you guys and people who care about truth and raising kids to think for themselves. What a concept. Their videos reach millions of people, especially young people, which I love. I love how they have really great, just meaty videos that are very educational. They are changing minds. Really, really, really great educational content. They're changing minds about faith, freedom, personal responsibility, stuff that your tax dollars are not going to be teaching kids. So It's stuff that you can trust. It rejects indoctrination. It's really great stuff if you've never checked it out. So if you want to make a real impact on the next generation, it's the perfect time to support PragerU, especially now. Every dollar that you give this month will be triple matched, which is fantastic. You can donate today at PragerU.com/chicks. Help shape the future. That's PragerU.com/chicks. We love them.
We love them.
We really love them.
All right. So before we get to any criticism of some recent Trump policies, or not even criticism, but just healthy discussion about them, let's talk about some good news first when it with respect to his administration and with the GOP. And we'll start with our favorite little data geek, Harry Enton.
Democratic brand right now has about the appeal with the American voter as the Cracker Barrel rebrand has with the American consumers. Bad, bad, bad. What are you doing? Oh, my goodness gracious. What are we talking about here in terms of big party registration changes in the key swing states? Let's look at the key 4 swing states that, in fact, do keep track of registration by party. Look, the Republican Party is in their best position at this point in the cycle since at least 2005. In all 4 of these key battleground states, we go out to the Southwest. Arizona. How about Nevada? Republicans haven't done this well since 2005. Oh, my goodness gracious, at this point in the cycle. North Carolina, I couldn't find a point at which Republicans were doing better at this point in the cycle. It's at least this century. It probably goes way back in the last century. And Pennsylvania, very similar. Republicans doing better at this point than at any point. Look at this. The Republican Party gains in party registration compared to this point back in 2017 during the Trump first administration. In Arizona, you got a Republican gain of 3 points. Okay, how about Nevada? Up the hill we go, even though we're sticking in the Southwest, a gain of 6 points. How about, again, we come to the East Coast, North Carolina, a gain of 8 points for the Republicans. And in the Keystone State, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, again, we're talking about a gain of 8 points. My goodness gracious, for Republicans, they are converting old former Democrats to their side of the ledger, as well as picking up new voters, registering new voters, and it absolutely paid off for them back in the 2024 election.
That's amazing. Some good news.
It is. And then you hear people on the left say, oh, he's losing support, or people are leaving the Republican Party, or everybody thinks he's doing a terrible job. Where are you seeing what? Shut up.
I don't know where they're seeing that.
You're making that up.
They are making it up.
Yeah.
He is firing on all cylinders on so many fronts. One of the reasons that he was talking to reporters yesterday is because he had the South Korean president in the Oval for a meeting, and there was a translator. There was, the South Korean president does not speak English, so there was a translator there. And the South Korean president actually suggested, and this may actually happen, that Trump, because he has solved so many fights across the world, that he would like for North and South Korea to mend their hard feelings too. And he is suggesting that Trump could be able to do that. Here is that moment. You'll hear it from the translator.
Ask for your role in establishing peace on the Korean Peninsula. So I look forward to your meeting with Chairman Kim Jong-un and construction of a Trump Tower in North Korea and playing golf at that place.
아마 기다리고 있을 것 같습니다. 기다리고 있을 것 같습니다.
So I believe he will be waiting for you.
Oh my God.
Real.
It is. It's unbelievable. I mean, that would never happen with Biden. It would never happen with anybody else.
Nope.
It's crazy.
Isn't that incredible?
Mm-hmm.
Also, another really important moment happened, and I'm not gonna make you read the entire proclamation because it is forever long, but it's long overdue that this White House decided to make today a Remembrance Day of Abbey Gate and the service people who lost their lives at Abbey Gate, since Biden never bothered to acknowledge these people or the contributions they made or the sacrifices that they and their families made. But J.D. Vance spoke on this issue, and it was beautiful. They had all the Gold Star families there, and here is a little bit of J.D.
So honored to have all of you here. I know that days like today can't make the hurt go away, but hopefully 4 years on, we can start to remember with fondness and with a little bit of joy the people that were taken from us. We're so proud of you. We're so proud of your loved ones for giving their life for our country. And I think importantly today, this is a rectification of a wrong. The fact that the President of the United States lost your loved ones through incompetence, but never acknowledged it. And your government never actually put pen to paper to say, we're grateful for your sacrifice. We correct that wrong today. And we're going to keep on fighting to understand, as Pete said, what happened so it never happens to another family again. But God love you all. God bless you. We're so thrilled to have you here in the People's Oval Office.
God bless him.
Yeah.
It's about
I was so
time.
proud of that.
Oh, I am too. It's about time. I mean, like he said, it's never going to fill that void, but hopefully that helps them heal a little bit, and they at least feel seen.
Right.
Crying
That's
out loud.
the big point right
know?
there. That's exactly right.
God bless him for doing that.
I know. I just love that.
Mhm.
And then also, I'm not sure how I missed it before, but in that interview that JD Vance did with Kristen Welker, she asked a question about whether or not he sees himself as a future president. And I just loved the way he answered the question so much that even though it's a couple days old now, had to share it.
You've been asked about this. You said you have not discussed this with him.
That's right.
But do you see yourself as the apparent future of the MAGA movement?
No, I see myself as a vice president who's trying to do a good job for the American people, Kristen. And if I do a good job, and if the president continues to be successful, as I know that he will be, the politics will take care of itself. We can cross that bridge when we come to it. But we just had an election 7 months ago. I think I'm probably like most Americans, and I'm already sick of talking about politics after a big general election. The next election that matters is not the election of 2028, it's 2026. So before we talk about anything 3.5 years down the road, let's take a break from politics, focus on governing the country, and when we return to politics, it's going to be to focus on those midterm elections.
Have you had any conversations with President Trump about him passing the torch on to you?
As you know, the president talks about everything. And if it's in the news, the president and I have certainly discussed it. But I think the president is just focused on doing a good job for the American people. He wants me to be focused on doing a good job for the American people. That's what I'll keep on doing. And again, if we take care of business, if America is safer, if it's more prosperous, if young people can afford to buy a home, if we actually bring peace to all of these regions of the world, which we've made great progress in doing, the politics will take care of itself.
Best answer ever.
Love that, right?
Best-
Wasn't it the greatest?
Best answer ever. Yeah, just
Best
like, shut
answer
up.
ever.
Let us do our freaking jobs and shut up.
Yeah.
And he said it in such a nice way. Like I would have said that. I would have said, let me do my job, STFU. But he does it in a way where he's presidential material.
Mm-hmm. It was perfect. It was
Right.
absolutely perfect. I was so impressed with that.
So great.
And then there was this report. I think I also missed this from the weekend, but remember how there was kind of all this chatter, and Trump contributed to it at one point, that because we're taking in so much money and revenue in tariffs, that maybe people would get like checks, like rebate checks from the tariff earnings. And we were, both of us, I mean, we were all like, no,
Pay
that
down
is
the
the
debt.
dumbest thing. Pay down the debt.
Right.
So I was very, very, very excited to hear this.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says that the Trump administration is using tariff revenue to pay down national debt, dismissing the idea of a rebate check disbursement within the next few months. The secretary telling me recently that he's expecting that tariff revenue to exceed $300 billion this year alone. The national debt currently stands at $37.25 trillion.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's a drop in the bucket, but like imagine wanting to spend that money and not use it to to pare down our debt.
Right.
That would have been
God. But the fact that we're able to do that now is pretty awesome. That they're getting more money in. That's great. Start paying it down.
It's super great.
Let's see what happens. Start paying it down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so that was good news. And I hadn't heard a lot about that recently. So when I saw that clip, I was like, oh, this is very welcome. So anyway, if you are not taking your veggies and your fruits, what are you doing, you guys? There is a cheat code.
It's true. I'm the worst about eating my fruits and veggies. So is my teenager. We're both really, I mean, it's like pulling teeth with her. I know you have a teenager that loved vegetables. He is an anomaly. But
that's true. He is.
We're all very bad about it in this house. But I do drink water. always something I do all day long because I'm all about hydration. And Field of Greens is a great way to just kind of get it's a life hack, basically. It helps me get all my fruits and veggies in with like one of my cups of water every day. And right now, Brick House is having their Labor Day sale. So you can get 25% with the code LABOR25. And they also have lean. So you can get Field of Greens, you can get lean if you're wanting to lose a little bit of weight, before the holidays kick in. If you want to do that, so then you can gain it all back during the holidays, it's always that's my strategy, lose a little, then you can gain a little. But they have lean, they have Field of Greens. And so it's good. Like kick off fall, feel stronger, more confident, get your greens in, get your fruits, get all that. Head over to brickhousenutrition.com. Use code LABOR25 at checkout. Get 25% off your entire order. That's brickhousenutrition.com with code LABOR25. Do it, you guys.
Yeah, write that down because it's unusual when it's not the code chicks.
Right.
So
it's
please
LABOR25. That's right.
All right, just a little bit of fun stuff. I mean, normally I would have had these maybe as talks, but I thought these are Trump related, so I'm just going to include them right now. And I don't know, there might be some people who take offense to this, but I thought it was so funny. And it's this super gay guy saying, like lip syncing to Trump's own words, and in a way that suggests that Trump is missing out by not being a gay person. Like he should have been a gay person. And you'll see why with this little montage.
Guy, man and woman. Look at that guy, how handsome he is. I'll kiss him. Not with a lot of enjoyment, but that's okay. But Arnold Palmer was all man. And I say that in all due respect to women, and I love women. But this is a guy that was all man. This man was strong and tough. And I refuse to say it, but when he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh my God. That's unbelievable. I had to say it. President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me president, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy. Very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What? Excuse me. Could you stand up? Look at that guy. You in the beautiful white shirt. Would you? Look at this guy. Holy mackerel! I'm looking at him. I always wanted to look like that. I just didn't want to do the work.
Oh my God, I love him.
He could have been so gay.
And that guy is so good.
Right? Like the lip syncing is on point.
God, that is so phenomenal. I could never do that.
I know. So the second funny and highly inappropriate, hide your kids and hide your wives.
Hide them.
Trump takeoff is that apparently there's a way where you can use Trump's voice to create a message to send to somebody. And this very clever father came across his teenage daughter's dildo.
Oh my God.
And decided to confront her using Trump's voice. Here is what it sounded like.
Hi, sweetheart. There's no reason to be embarrassed, but I found your green goblin. Or that's what your mother used to call it. You should be a bit more careful about what you leave in the bathroom. Your younger brother is in there all the time for like hours on end. Please keep these things private. To be frank with you, I didn't believe it when I first saw it. These things are so much bigger than I remember.
Oh
Anyways, take it easy, champ. You're not training for the Olympics. Let's keep the bathroom a family-friendly space. And don't worry, I won't tell Mom. Love you. Yapper.s.
So everybody knows how to use Yapper. Everybody knows.
I mean, I did not know that that was a thing, but I'm going to have to start using it. So anyway, that is a very clever way to send a message to your child.
Now you know. The more you know.
Oh my God. Anyway, Moving on, we need to talk about some of the executive orders and decisions that the Trump administration has recently made that is causing a lot of consternation, not just on the left, but also on the right. And one of those executive orders was a year potentially of jail time for burning the American flag. Here is Trump signing the order.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail, no early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is incite to riot. I hope they use that language, by the way. Did they?
Yeah, incitement is
incite to riot. And you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. You don't get 10 years, you don't get 1 month. You get 1 year in jail, and it goes on your record. And you will see flag burning stopping immediately.
So, okay. Here's the thing. So Hillary Clinton wanted to do this back in 2006.
We have that. We will have that.
But the verbiage is pretty clear. It doesn't criminalize burning the American flag, really. I mean, it doesn't. Because it says, the quote is, "My administration will act to restore respect and sanctity to the American flag and prosecute those who incite violence or otherwise violate our laws while desecrating this symbol of our country to the fullest extent permissible under any available authority." That's what it says. Because people were like, well, who makes the determination of whether or not they were trying to incite violence? To which I answer, okay, well, who determined that the people standing outside on the lawn on January 6th were trying to incite violence? And a lot of those people ended up in jail. So
there's a lot of reason to be both uncomfortable with this and also not uncomfortable. Like, I'm completely, there's nothing I would rather do less than burn a flag. Like, it hurts my heart every time I see it, but it's one of those things that has long been decided by the Supreme Court, who said this is part of the freedom of speech, and the freedom of speech that needs to be protected most is what we hate. And so, yes, the executive order has some workarounds, but and there were some immediate reactions that people were just losing their shit without reading the executive order, to your point. So they were assuming the worst without actually understanding the nuance, but even the nuance is questionable. And so we'll have a lot of different reaction, and then you guys can certainly decide. Emily Zanotti, who's a lawyer, a constitutional lawyer, as a matter of fact, said, in response to Eric Doherty, who was just kind of breaking the news that he was going to sign this order. And Emily said, yeah, that's going to get struck down immediately. And to which this fellow, William Teach, replied, yes, it will, but it will put Democrats on the defensive of supporting flag burning, which is an interesting angle. But her response to that was to simply say, except that's not why Trump does anything. He's not playing 4D chess. He wants to throw red meat to people and then pretend that the courts are the bad guys for striking down an edict that was never actually legal for him to make. It's conservative judges that defended flag burning. So again, the immediate reaction to this by the right was fury, a lot of fury. Robbie Sove said, Scalia, in defense of the right to burn the American flag, if it were up to me, I would put in jail every sandal-wearing, scruffy-bearded weirdo who burns the American flag, but I am not king. He was part of the majority decision in Texas versus Johnson that upheld flag burning as part of our First Amendment rights. Jesse Kelly, just not having any part of it. He said, I would never in a million years harm the American flag, but a president telling me I can't has me as close as I'll ever be to lighting one on fire. I am a free American citizen, and if I ever feel like torching one, I will. This is garbage. But to your point, back in the day, this was something that Hillary even said we should reconsider.
So I hope, Mr. President, that we can pass a law that criminalizes flag burning and desecration. I agree that this burning, this desecration that can happen to our flag is something that people have a right to ask this body to try to prohibit and prevent.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think it's really weird that burning a pride flag can be a hate crime, but then burning an American flag is not. So
well, and that's a whole other thing, right? Because hate crime legislation is wrong on like the face of it in every way. It is absolutely wrong.
But it still exists and it's still happening.
And there should be consistency.
Right. There's no consistency. So if I go out and I burn a pride flag, I could go to jail for that. Because people,
if it is decided that you're doing it in a way that like is directly contributing to hate crimes.
Sure. Well, as a conservative influencer, somebody could infer that, so I could go to jail for that. But if I burn an American flag, it's totally okay. I find that to be abhorrent. I think that is ridiculous. I do.
Well, and that's the thing is that his EO doesn't touch that. It doesn't touch the hate crime aspect, which is so stupid. And it has put people in prison for, like people are all up in arms about like the crosswalk in front of Pulse nightclub being painted over because it had the rainbow flag on it. And like people have gotten in trouble in the past for covering up or like driving over or painting over whatever, gay pride flags because it ends up being considered a hate crime.
Right.
It's so dumb.
It's not that it doesn't cover it, but like the passage that I read where it says, that they're going to try to prosecute those who are doing it to incite violence or otherwise violate our laws while desecrating the flag. I feel like that is, to me, that's hateful. That's hate. Like if it's kind of like if you are any other hate crimes are just so stupid. The whole notion of hate crimes are stupid. That's a whole other discussion. But I think that it's inferred there in that quote. It's like if you're doing it, if you're burning a flag to incite violence and get people all riled up, I don't know how you would prove that, but that's what they're trying to say. If you're doing it like on a college campus to be like, let's all like go, let's take over this building or whatever. I think that's what they're trying to say that this is. And
they are. I just don't know if they're doing it. I don't think it's going to hold up, but maybe it will. I don't know. I mean, maybe their language is nuanced enough, and we'll get into some of the specifics of the language in a bit. A libertarian account said this executive order to criminalize is dead on arrival. It is plainly unconstitutional. The courts will enjoin it all the way up. Burning the flag is abhorrent and unpatriotic, but it is free speech. Such an EO is also bad politics because libertarians make up a necessary part of Trump's base, which is fair. Britt Hume also mentioned that George H.W. Bush ran against flag burning in 1988 and spent a whole week campaigning on that issue, but he called for a constitutional amendment to ban the practice. He didn't pretend that he could ban it by an executive order that flies in the face of constitutional speech protections. Come on, man.
Okay, well then what he should do is say, okay, well, if you can burn the American flag, then you can burn the pride flag. You can burn this flag. You can burn that. You can burn all the flags. Make them all equal. Equal opportunity flag burning. But there shouldn't be, like this flag because it's, gay sex flags. We can't burn those flags, but we can burn the American. Like, what is that? I don't understand.
Yeah, consistency is a problem.
There's no consistency. It's so stupid. Yeah.
Misfit Patriot weighing in saying, not a fan. This is a slippery slope. That being said, I'm fine with a law that applies to arson or public safety on setting a fire in a public place during a protest, but that would apply to any flag. If you buy an American flag with your own money, burn it in a controlled setting like your backyard, etc., that is 100% constitutional.
Right.
One of the loudest critics about this, and he read the full executive order in depth, was Matt Taibbi, who simply said, this is effing stupid in response to the executive order text on the White House's website. And then he responded to people who were coming after him. One person saying, you know what, I'll allow it. It's no longer stupid because if you can go to prison for years for doing a burnout on an LGBTQ flag or prison for being against Israel, screw it. And Matt's response was, the solution to bad laws about LGBTQ flags is to fight those laws, not make matching dumb ones in the other direction.
That was my point. That was my point.
So somebody else said, it's important to read the EO. Burning the flag does not result in jail. It's only if you're doing it to incite violence. And Matt said, I did read it. I actually think that's worse. It's a backdoor way to get to speech policing by describing flag burning as an element of the crime when it isn't. So there's some danger to even the way that the EO is written. But Eric Erickson made a great point saying that this EO isn't legal, but it will get the Democrats to go all out and burn American flags yet again, putting them on the 20% side of an 80-20 issue, which is maybe true, but it's actually more people on the right that have a problem with this. In fact, I think and I don't know his political persuasion, but already in front of the White House yesterday, as this was being signed, a veteran went to like a sidewalk right across the street from the White House and started burning the American flag in protest, saying, I fought to have my right to do this. And this tyrant cannot take this away from me. And he was immediately arrested because it's illegal to burn a flag on public property. So, I mean, the legality of the flag burning wasn't even the issue. It was you can't burn anything in that spot that you were burning things in. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I do know what you mean.
So
So it wasn't so much about the flag. It was like if he burned a pamphlet there.
Exactly.
He can't do that there. So it's like, dude, you're not making a great point. Okay. Because you're going to get arrested no matter what. So what are you doing? I do really like this comment from 717 Yamofo, which is if you burn the Jamaican flag, you get high. I think that was a wonderful contribution to this morning's discussion. That just brings it all back to where we are here on the Chicks on the Right show, which is, you know what? Like I said, I think it just needs to be consistent. Be consistent.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not consistent. So that's why it pisses me off. It pisses me off about the pride flags. And then it's like, what? They're not special. You know what I mean? And they're definitely not more special than just regular everyday Americans. So what are we doing? It's just so stupid.
Well, that's the question. Like, why are we focusing on this and not doing away with some of the more idiotic, ridiculous hate crime laws that are in place?
Yeah.
So anyway, lots of messages trying to clear it up, but then FIRE, who I trust. I mean, this is an organization. They are the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression. They're saying President Trump may believe he has the power to revise the First Amendment with the stroke of a pen, but he doesn't. Flag burning as a form of political protest is protected by the First Amendment. That's nothing new. While people can be prosecuted for burning anything in a place they aren't allowed to set fires, the government cannot prosecute protective, expressive activity, even if many Americans, including the president, find it, quote, uniquely offensive and provocative. You don't have to like it. You can condemn it, debate it, or hoist your own flag even higher. The beauty of free speech is that you get to express your opinions, even if others don't like what you have to say. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's really the crux of it, right?
It's provocative. It gets the people going.
It's provocative.
Mm-hmm.
And so too is something that's going on in your home state. And that is that Ken Paxton has declared that the 10 Commandments are going to be required to be displayed in public schools, which I just think is bananas and asking for trouble. And I don't know why this is happening, but your mileage may vary. This is your state,
allow
so
it.
You comment.
I'll allow
I mean,
it.
then you're going to have to allow like Satan's, whatever. You're going to have to allow other religious information to be in schools when this is supposed to be separate. I think this is a terrible idea. I think there are going to be so many lawsuits, and I just think this is asking for trouble.
I know. It is. It used to not be. I think that's why. I mean, I'm trapped in 1926 because when people didn't fight this shit,
Yeah. I would love to see the 10 Commandments everywhere. It's just that
meanwhile,
there's a reason.
people in Houston are like, bring on Sharia law. Woo!
Right.
Okay, whatever. To each your whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't think
here's the weird thing is that John Cornyn, and I know a lot of people are super, they don't like John Cornyn right now. He went after Ken Paxton personally about this in a way that I just thought was like crossing a line, because he basically said, you might want to brush up on the 10 Commandments, Ken, because he's been accused of adultery and all the things. So I was like, yikes, that's below the belt.
Yeah.
Dang.
I mean, it is one nation under God. Somebody said that. It is. To me, it is.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And it's not one nation under Allah or whatever else. So
it's true.
People will come after me for that. I don't care. I mean, it wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't bother me. My kid is a Christian. It wouldn't bother her. She would be like, oh, that's cool. The 10 Commandments. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there are going to be people who are super butthurt and they're like, I can't take it. This is so terrible. It's basically telling you to be nice to people and not do bad things. Oh God.
Right.
They can't, you can't. So I guess
they can't handle it.
They can't handle that. So, it's probably gonna, you're right. People will fight it. It's terrible.
And then there's another whole issue that has people on the right a little ugged out. And I feel I'm totally on the fence about this particular issue. And that is, I don't know if you guys have heard that now the United States, us taxpayers, we are part owners of Intel. So now the government has a 10% stake in a private company. Now, Trump tweeted about this yesterday saying, I paid $0 for Intel. It is worth approximately $11 billion. All of it goes to the USA. Why are stupid people unhappy with that? I'll make deals like that for our country all day long. I will also help those companies that make such lucrative deals with the US states. I love seeing their stock price go up, making the USA richer and richer, more jobs for America. Who wouldn't want to make deals like that? And it's not going to be the only company that we are apparently going to be owners of. According to Axios, the government plans to take stakes in more companies, according to a top Trump advisor. So this, by the way, was something that Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren have been promoting for years.
Why you gonna? But why?
So are we okay with the government taking ownership of private companies? Isn't that something that we have long said is a bad thing?
As long as it's not our company. I don't really give a shit as long as it's not ours.
Do we not give a shit about government getting into private ownership?
I'm joking. I joke. I jest. I'm just saying. I don't want them having a hand in ours. They already have enough of a hand because they tax us at such an obscene rate. You know what I mean? But it's a little weird. It's a little weird.
It's a little weird. Now, I'll tell you why I ended up feeling better about it somewhat in a moment. But again, we'll show you some immediate reaction from some folks that we quote quite often on the show. AG saying, this is a terrible idea. The people cheering it on will inevitably come to regret it when it's a Democrat administration using their stakes to dictate how these companies should behave. Mm-hmm. And then, as you might expect, Rand Paul absolutely losing his mind over this, saying, if socialism is government owning the means of production, wouldn't the government owning part of Intel be a step towards socialism? Terrible idea. Let's see. Then we have some explanations, which started to make me feel better, sort of. This was just a general explanation saying that the Trump administration is in talks, and this has already happened, to secure a 10% stake in Intel in exchange for converting government grants that were already pledged to Intel under Joe Biden. So in other words, Intel was already getting this money as a handout thanks to Joe Biden. And I don't even know how much it was, billions. They were getting a handout, kind of like we bailed out the auto industry back in 2008. Right. And then we lost as taxpayers a shit ton of money.
Right.
This grant is going to Intel regardless. And now what Trump is doing is saying, that's not okay. We're not just going to give it to you. We want to have a stake so that taxpayers make money when y'all make money. So America makes money when y'all make money.
That's great. So that actually is a really good thing when you look at it that way.
That sounded better to me because the fact is the money was going to them anyway. Why shouldn't we get a cut, so to speak, as a country?
So do we get dividend checks?
I don't know that it works that way, but it's that America's coffers continue to get the benefit and we hopefully get taxed less as a result, right?
If it ultimately works out that way and my taxes go down, then this is a win-win.
Right. And it's, and you know, Howard Lutnick said the government has no intention of getting in the business of Intel's business. They're not going to have voting rights. They're not going to have voting shares. But there is some concern that this is a slippery slope, right? And so I'm on the fence about it. I'm interested to see how it all works out. The grant part makes me feel better about it. And so too did the older millennials take on this whole thing. Here he is responding to Krasenstein freaking out about it.
They really do be posting shit like the rest of us aren't paying attention or don't even have access to Google. Trump posted on Truth Social, I paid $0 for Intel. It is worth approximately $11 billion. And old Ed Krasenstein here said, hey, Grok, is it true the U.S. paid nothing for their stake in Intel? That's not what Trump said. Trump said, I paid $0 for Intel. Talking about the 10% equity stake that the American people now have in the company Intel. See, because Biden gave them $7.5 billion. And he gave it to them as a grant. We weren't getting that money back. We were just giving Intel $7.5 billion and getting fucking nothing for it. And Trump said, no, let's convert that to an equity stake. You know, because the American people deserve to get their fucking money back. And now that 10% stake is worth $11 billion. So President Biden just gave them $7.5 billion of our dollars with no expectations, no requirements, no payback. Trump said, fuck that. He said, I want equity stake. And because he did that, not only have the American people recouped all the money we gave to Intel, but we also made an additional $3.5 billion. Biden gives our money away, and Trump not only gets our money back, but makes us more, and liberals are fucking complaining about it? Do you know how fucking stupid you have to be mad at a president for making you $3.5 billion? Oh, wait, no, I know how stupid you got to be. You got to be a Krasenstein.
Yeah, and you have to be somebody who's like, I want more crime. I love crime. I love crime and illegals. Woo! Yeah.
I think my preference would have just been, and obviously it's too late because Biden already wrote the check, but it would be great if we just stopped giving these companies grants. Why are we doing that?
Yeah.
If the company can't survive on its own, that's the company's problem, and they need to go out of business.
Right.
Right? Why are we giving them money?
You're right, Ma, because that is the free market. If
Yeah.
you can't make it, you can't make it. Tough shit.
Right.
Bye.
I know,
life.
that's the
thing. And that's what happens to small businesses. But once you get to a certain level, it's like, they're like, we need help from Americans. F you. You think small businesses are getting help from Americans? No, we get screwed, man. It's like, all the middle fingers, all of them.
Yep. That's the thing. And so I wish it didn't have to be this way. I wish that this equity stake wasn't even a thing.
Right.
But because of Biden, I feel like, well, I guess this is as good of a deal as we can get.
Yeah, at least we're getting
and
some
I
money
hate
back.
it, but
right. At least we're making some money back. Like, he's like, fine, go ahead. And then we're gonna get money back with interest. Like, that's, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
I guess.
I hate all of it. And I gotta say, you know, I love Trump, but I am sick and tired of executive orders. Like, all of these are just, they can be wiped out with the second that a new president gets into office. Everything that he's done via executive order can be shut down.
It's
and
a worry.
I hate that. I don't
Yeah,
like it.
like a lot, it needs to be done in a legislative way so they can stick.
Right. Right.
I hear you.
All right, let's move on to the topic of foreign kids like being allowed into our universities. It's happening at rates that are simply unacceptable. I'm not sure who this woman is, but she's on, was it News Nation or Real America News? Anyway, is it Real America News? Anyway, she's talking about the number of foreign students and the fact that we are paying for them, which is infuriating.
39% of college-age Americans, that's between 18 and 24, even go to colleges and universities. And this is because it is not affordable to them. And the kicker is they are paying with their hard-earned money, they are paying for specialized admissions processes to vet international students according to a criteria completely unaffiliated with America, in addition to the fact that these schools are pretty much all need blind. That means there's no such thing as international students having to pay full price. Taxpayers subsidize this. They get the exact same financial aid benefits as American citizens. So Americans get screwed twice. First, for paying for the specialized admissions process, and then for paying for this financial aid to be lavished on international students. And quite frankly, now we see many of, quote, the best and brightest, according to the left, are actually criminals and supporters of Islamist terrorists.
God, this makes me crazy, Mock. And we are in the throes now of looking for colleges for our daughter, our youngest daughter. I swear, and she wants to be an engineer, you guys. So she's got to go to college. Okay. That's just the way that it is. And so we're looking, and she wants to be a swimmer. So we're looking for that too. It narrows it down. And some of these schools, I tell you, like I'm looking at the stats, like when you look around, you can tell it's a lot of foreign students. It just is. That's not me being like xenophobic or racist. You can just tell. Okay. And then on top of that, you look at the data from in 2003, 2004, the US had about 500,000 students that were foreigners, right? By 2023, it was over 1.2 million. Okay. That's a lot more. Okay. It's doubled. It's doubled. And then you start looking at sports, because this is what we look at. We look at like swimming rosters. You look at swimming rosters, like just in men alone. Okay. I'm not even talking about the women, but in NCAA Division I, D1 schools, approximately 14% of both men's and women's swimming and diving athletes are international. So like and in D2, it's 15% of male, 12% of female. That is a lot. That's a lot. So when you look at these rosters, you're looking at like sometimes, like a third of the roster. Sorry, my dogs are barking. A third of the roster is foreign. And so that keeps your kid off of a roster when you're looking and you're like, wait, that kind of sucks. And that actually skews us for like where we're going to pick. Cause I don't want my kid to go to a school where they're picking like a third or a half of their roster as foreign students. Cause I don't think that that's fair. I don't think it's fair to American kids. And especially if we're funding that, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's crazy. Yeah. So this is alarming to me that you're looking around, because what are they doing? They're here obviously because they want a really good education and they can't get an education in their shithole countries. Okay. I get that. But also,
but can they not? There are plenty of universities across the globe.
It's true. It's true. There are, but I think we have the most reputable and we've got the Ivies. A lot of these kids want to go to these great schools. And from an engineering standpoint, because I'll just use that as an example, we have some of the top engineering schools in the world. That's where they want to go, right? And they bring diversity. So these colleges want to bring these students in, right? And they often pay full tuition for these kids. That's what they'll do, especially at private schools or public universities where like international tuition is higher. It's also a pathway to immigration. So they'll get here and then they use that as a method, as a means to become citizens if they choose to do that. So it's like I guess it's what is it? The US study visa is like the F1. It's a clear pathway to employment and then eventual immigration. And this is what people are doing. So I'm not a fan, because a lot of American kids who want those spots, whether it be academic, sports, or both, it's hindering American kids from getting those spots.
Of course. It literally is, taking out for as many foreign students that come in. That's one less American citizen who's got a shot.
And it's affecting the finances too. It's making it more expensive for American kids to go to school. And that bothers me. That also bothers me. It's not okay.
It's not okay, which is why it was a bit of a disappointment to hear from Trump that he plans to keep right on doing it, specifically with China. So you're going to hear what he said in his office during, I think this was like with the South Korean president. It was during that Q&A portion. And then you're going to hear Laura Ingraham asking Howard Lutnick about this, because she's mad, I'm mad, you're mad, everybody's mad about this. And Howard doesn't have a particularly good response. But anyway, you're going to hear Trump and then you're going to hear that exchange.
You would like me to come to China? It's a very important relationship. As you know, we're taking a lot of money in from China because of the tariffs and different things. And it's a very important relationship. We're going to get along good with China. I hear so many stories about we're not going to allow their students. We're going to allow their students to come in. We're going to allow, it's very important, 600,000 students. It's very important.
Mr. Secretary, with all due respect, how is allowing 600,000 students from the communist country of China putting America first?
Well, the president's point of view is that what would happen if you didn't have those 600,000 students is that you'd empty them from the top. All the students would go up to better schools, and the bottom 15% of universities and colleges would go out of business in America. So his view is he's taking a rational economic view, which is classic Donald Trump looking at higher education and saying,
But why are you
until
helping
we
Harvard?
modify that.
That just
What's
helps
that?
Harvard and UCLA and UCal Berkeley and I mean you're all helping those schools. Why? They're like, basically factories of anti-American propaganda. And now they're getting a big influx of cash because of the Chinese students. I know President Trump has always been very pro-Chinese student. I just don't understand it for the life of me. Those are 600,000 spots that American kids won't get.
Well, I tell you what, I'm involved in changing the H-1B program, right? We're going to change that program because that's terrible, right?
I think our American engineering students need to be given the first role at every job, and I think they're brilliant when given half a chance.
And then she said goodbye. Like that was the end of the interview.
Okay, well, I'm glad that she at least like stood up for the whole America, because it's not America first to let a bunch of Chinese students in here and take the jobs.
600,000?
Bullshit. It is absolute. It is absolute hogwash. That it's not okay. And Chinese? Are we kidding ourselves? Come on.
I don't.
Yeah.
It was just a very odd day for people on the right.
Right.
Yesterday, because there were just so many things that this administration was doing that were like, what? What are you doing?
Well, that was definitely not. That's not okay. Because I mean, I have a personal stake in that right now, and the whole 600,000 Chinese students, especially, and a lot of them are in the engineering and the medical fields. No, not okay. It's just not okay.
It's not okay.
No.
So anyway. All right, let's get to some fun things because we do have some fun things. For example, I know how you feel about alligators.
I do. They're great for shoes and purses and boots.
But here is a fellow who would like to talk to you about alligators.
Did you know that in the wild, there's a creature so reptilian, so cannibalistic, so dangerous that it will actually destroy its own young before they're even born? Of course, I'm talking about the uterus of a progressive liberal woman. This is just a harmless alligator behind me. They actually protect their young. Imagine that.
That was great. I love that, but I'd be so afraid that thing would come up on the shore and start running after me.
I mean, he was a little close.
He was,
I would
close,
say, for
right?
a moving alligator.
Why
Yeah.
was he doing that?
I don't know, but
That's
like
not
yesterday,
smart.
I saw a video, and it's just like the caption was something like "typical Florida." You know, this happens all the time. Guy on a golfing green, taking his shot. The most massive alligator. I mean, probably 15 feet. This thing was a freaking beast. And it's just walking behind him. And he checked. I mean, he kind of looked behind him and he was like, all right, it's there. Just utterly unfazed. I mean, wow. Because those things can move. When they want to run, they can run.
They run fast. Was
Yeah.
that like 20, 30 miles an hour when they're running at full speed? Am I wrong about that?
I don't know the exact thing.
I
but
feel like
yeah.
they can run really fast, and I don't want to find out. I don't.
No. I tend to stay away from the gators. Also, there are a ton of podcasts out there. Like there's a new one popping up every single day, right? And some of these podcasters say they're like super Kamala in the sense that they say things that they believe are really profound that really don't mean anything at all.
Right.
So you're about to see an example of that as well as a reaction to the example of that.
And I've heard that from a friend of mine. He said, don't love your job, job your love. So don't
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Uh-huh.
I think there's just too much podcasting equipment.
Right.
I think that's it. We just need to buy it all back.
Uh-huh. Podcasting. What? Like it's hard?
That just cracked me up. I just think there's too much equipment.
And I love that guy was like, yeah. That's
oh my God, I love that. Job your love.
You're like
What
that
the hell
guy,
does that mean?
Socrates. You're like Socrates. You're so
But for real, what does that
smart.
mean to job your love?
Nothing. It doesn't mean
Okay.
anything. She's
Just
an
checking.
idiot, but she has a neat hat. Whatever.
That was absolutely insane. Also, I have discovered an Instagram account that I think it's called, I followed it and now I can't remember the name of it. It's like people being embarrassed, something like that. And the whole account is just dedicated to people's most embarrassing moments.
Oh my God.
Was absolutely making me laugh.
That happened to be filmed.
Yes.
Oh no.
Like this, for example.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you have one? I have one. I have an embarrassing moment. I went to one of my very first writing jobs out of college. Okay. Fresh out of college. I was all excited. I had my whole outfit on. I go in, I'm all professional. I go into the interview, right? I do the whole interview. I nailed the interview, you guys. I was so great, so professional, said all the right things, walk out. The person who like drove me to the interview, and I get in the car and they were like, you have an almond stuck in your teeth. I had this giant almond stuck right between my two front teeth. I looked like Dumb and Dumber. Like I looked like an idiot.
The interviewer wouldn't tell you?
No, didn't tell me.
Oh, that's mean.
You know what's weird is I ended up getting the job anyway, but like I was so embarrassed. Like, listen, pro tip. Always, ladies, especially ladies, because I interviewed with a lady. I will always tell you if you have something stuck in your teeth or if you have toilet paper on. I will always, or if your fly's down, I will always tell you because of that experience, because that was so embarrassing. Yeah, nuts in my teeth. Yeah, I had nuts in my teeth. I did. Hashtag nuts and teeth.
Is inappropriate.
It's inappropriate.
I had to mute this next clip because it's just music, and so I don't want to get a strike or anything. But I don't know who this guy is, but it's amazing because he has this incredible innate sense of timing. So he does these tricks that are absolutely incredible. It's a little montage of them. Check this out.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
what?
That's amazing, right?
He is awesome.
This is my favorite. That one was my absolute favorite.
He's so good and creative.
Incredible.
That's fantastic.
And someday, as you know, my husband and I would like to get a boat. And I'm hoping for a moment that looks as incredible as this. It starts off good and it just keeps getting better. He's just hand feeding flying birds. No big deal.
It's not, what, is that like a cooler in the back? What is that? They're so pretty. He's like, I'm going to go ahead and just have all of your bait. Thanks.
Now, granted, we're not getting a fishing boat, but still.
Yeah.
I would like to have some sort of experience that looks a lot like that, because that was incredible. All right. We do have a thank you from a couple from today, but actually let me get to the ones from yesterday first. Shelly Rodriguez said, Preston Myers had an informative TikTok about Cracker Barrel. Love listening to you chicks. Just found you in the last 6 months. You are now a regular part of my mornings.
Well, welcome, Shelly.
Colleen W said, Cracker Barrel pancakes suck. Here's some Denny's cash. I love that. Cynthia Lee said, I love how JD isn't just a placekeeper. He is showing his leadership and giving us something to look forward to.
Yes,
Indeed.
That is fantastic.
Over on locals, Meredith RN said, good morning from Arizona, starting my birthday off with the chicks. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, fellow Virgo.
Judy Flood said, Cracker Barrel should not have gone woke. I mean, you would think that they would know that at this
Yeah, you'd
point, but
think.
they don't seem to. Oh, Suki said Cracker Barrel issued a note to customers acknowledging criticism of its recent rebranding and new logo, admitting, so we already read that whole thing. They've seen the mistake they made, but are not interested in setting things right, and saying they're still interested in family. Woke isn't family oriented, and we're not falling for their bull. All right, now you.
Yummy. Okay. Marcy Paralyzed. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. So happy to be part of the COTR family. Y'all are the best. Love you all. Thank you, Marcy. BTK 1213. If Dems have no plan, that should alert us to a fix. Yes. Let me move this over. Hold on. Stroke Jen. Tampon Tim calling Trump a man-child is rich. They don't know how to troll. It will backfire like everything else they've ever tried. You don't copy people you hate unless you are insane and jealous. So there is that. That is true. Terry Ray Nick 6070. As a retired member of the USN, I'm assuming, is that Navy? US Navy?
Must be.
I never want to see a flag burned. However, it is a right we have as citizens. What I never want to see is protests where the U.S. flag is torn down to replace it with any other flag. Agreed.
Right.
I totally
agree. And that is illegal because that's somebody else's property. You don't get to tear that down.
Yep, that's right. Ed Ferguson, 6069. It's already a crime. Look up 18 U.S. Code 700, desecration of the flag of the United States. Penalties and punishable by a fine and 1 year in jail. Okay. Jose, Texas 15, morning from Texas, headed to Central Texas. And so for the cracker and the barrel are still on the signage. Shout out to all the crackers out there. Daisy, I waved as I passed by Waco. Just take my wad. Hi, Jose. Team Media and Publishing. Am I the only one who's extremely annoyed by the idea of burning our flag being part of freedom of speech? Where's the speaking? It's literally burning the symbol of a nation that is draped over the coffin of soldiers who gave their lives defending it. Sick. Yeah,
I hate it too.
I hate it. It's disgusting. Those people suck in every single way. Brian Brumley 1. The founding family of Cracker Barrel, including the real Uncle Herschel, were faithful members of the Lord's Church, and now they are destroying the company DNA just to be accepted by the spirit of the age. Yeah, there's a lot of that goes around. You know, it's awful. I hate it.
Suki just sent another tip saying, I only came on a few minutes ago, so I'll have to watch later. Okay.
Hi, Osuki. Hi. Okay, you guys, we're bringing it in. I don't think we have anything else. We're bringing it in. It is Tuesday. You guys have a fabulous one, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.